Hello everyone. Today is day 14, 2 weeks in, one more week to go on our next round of 21 days. And I'm going to read today out of the 365 days. And it's really, I just read whatever the blurb is at the top, and then I find out what was written, what I wrote out when I read it now. Let me put these on. But I know it's about self-care. An empty lantern provides no light. Self-care is the fuel that allows your light to shine brightly. DevelopGoodHabits.com. I love that. Develop good habits. It's so true. It's a practice. We have to develop it. This is a great analogy, and yet I might have minimal skills when it comes to how I practice self-care. Where do I even begin? What is the self-care? What if self-care is pausing? What if self-care is pausing? When someone asks me to do something for them, I just went through this morning, do something for them and weighing in on if I agree out of guilt or out of genuine desire to help. What if self-care is taking a moment to watch a bird, a sunset, notice a flower, pet an animal, smile at a stranger, or smile at myself in the mirror? What if this is a great beginning? Otherwise, self-care may never happen in this fast-paced, get-her-done world I live in. What if I can carve out little moments of self-care throughout my day, just to start, even if it's just one moment a day? If I try this, I might find that I'm more likely to do a little more, and then maybe even a little more. Thought for the day: what if self-care can happen with these little changes and be more lasting? It's amazing. I feel so much emotion come up as I read this. And what was kind of going through my head is to share that kind of thing to people. Because I don't know about anyone else, but I did not grow up whatsoever being told, put yourself first, practice self-care, be good to yourself first, then you can be good to others. I was taught to basically sacrifice myself, prostrate myself for others, like never put myself first. In fact, go to the bottom of the line. So it is such a continuous practice for me to catch that and go, oh yeah. So like this morning, we do a lot of things. My husband and I have our hands on a lot of things. So one of the things we do is Airbnb, and the other is we rent out RVs. And it's a lot like we're coming into the high season of RV rentals. So, hey, Pat. So this morning, before my husband was leaving, I need to practice self-care and take a sip of water. He's like, hey, do you have time today to make the bed in the RV? Because it's going out today at 2. And without thinking, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll make it. And I'm glad I did, but that bed in that RV is a pain in the butt to make because of the way it's situated. It takes time. It takes a good half hour to make that bed. So I'm out there this morning making it, and I'm kind of grumbling to myself about, oh, here it is. Like, I have nothing on my plate. I have nothing to do. And I'm letting myself kind of grumble about that. And then I start to laugh about it. But I think I can't say this enough, particularly as women in our culture, this patriarchal culture, we're taught like, oh, put myself last on the list, do everything for everyone else. And I really have to check that kind of codependent part of me, not just with everyone, and be like, does that really work for me? And I'm glad I did that. But I have a number of things that I have to go deal with today. And I thought, yeah, it's just a great reminder to me to go, what's loving and kind to me? And can I say no? And I see ways I am getting so much better at this. But I was talking to someone yesterday about my knee-jerk reaction is, if like my husband's in the other room and I'm in this room and he's like, Mart, I would literally kind of drop everything and jump up. And that's not his fault. That's more what I was raised with, like, what do you need? And especially in Catholic school. So I have to catch myself. Like just the other day, I was in my closet getting dressed, getting ready, and I hear him call my name, and my knee-jerk reaction is to go, and I was like, no, Marty, let him find you. And I have to talk to myself that way about, like, no, let him find you. If it's that important, let him come find you. And those are little ways to practice self-care, and it may not feel like it's self-care in the moment because it can feel sort of anxious and like, oh, you might feel guilty or whatever. But that is practicing self-care, to actually feel the guilt and do it anyway. And I didn't feel guilty the other day, but I have definitely felt guilty many times when I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm like my voice is shaking. So I just wanted to share that it is such a practice, and I think it does require some vigilance to be like, no, I deserve to put me first. I deserve to go, yeah, it's not going to work for me. But then the guilt can come up. So karate chop. Oh, this is so true. I always say yes or sorry, and I feel sick not being able to. Right? Oh my God, Pat, that's such a great point. It's like you're like, your body's like, no, say no. That's self-care. Say no. And it's like, yeah, I'll do it. And I don't know if you're anything like me, then I can ultimately get resentful, which is a product of me not taking care of myself because I let the guilt run me. Thank you for posting that, Pat. That's awesome. Makes me think of what to tap on better here now. Karate chop. Even though I can guilt myself into not practicing self-care, I choose to honor this truth right now. Even though I always say yes or sorry, and I can feel sick not being able to help, I choose to honor this truth right now. Even though my programming is that deep, I'll feel sick if I don't help. I so relate to that, Pat. I choose to honor my truth right now. Go to the eyebrow. I feel sick if I don't say yes. But there is this part of me, deep down below all the muck, that's like, no. You need to take care of you. I feel this. And that's so hard for me. Because I got wired to believe that I'm supposed to put myself last. That it's right to put everyone else ahead of me. That my needs should go on the back burner. Because if they don't, I'm a selfish person. But what if that programming comes from a toxic culture that's deeply based in the ego? Where I get guilt into not helping someone. So much so I feel sick about it. But is that really the way I'm meant to live? To feel sick about not helping someone? Would a force of love want me to feel this way? What if I got so wired backwards this way? Deeply entrenched in beliefs that tell me I gotta help others. I'm selfish if I don't. And what if that's a lie that feels like a truth, but it's still a lie? What if I could see this differently? What if everyone on the planet actually took responsibility for themselves? Put themselves first. Took care of themselves. What if actually things could work better? What if then we would learn how to be interdependent rather than codependent? What if we could help others genuinely when it felt right and true for us? Free from sticky guilt and shame. I want to help them right now. But what if those days when I don't want to help? Yeah, that doesn't work for me today. Sorry, I've got too much going on. My plate's full. Just can't do it today. Maybe not ever. What if I could learn how to do that while releasing the guilt I feel? Because if I'm feeling guilty or sick about not helping someone else, I don't think that's right either. What if that feeling sick inside is letting me know something's not right here? What if it should feel light, free and easy? What if that feeling sick inside is letting me know I'm out of balance here? I'm not putting me first at all. And what if other people's needs are actually best met by me meeting my needs first? Because then I'm a filled up vessel. And I have this light, free feeling around helping others. Because I'm filled up from within. And what if my practice here is just catching myself in that sick feeling or apologizing? And what if that's an indication that I need to tap through this so that I can release and be free of the programming that tells me I should drop everything and help everyone else? And what if I could see this in a really new way? A way I've never seen it before. Where I get to fill up my own cup first. And from that place, a space is created to help others with grace and ease. And to make the choice to say no. When that is the most loving thing for me. And what if that's an amazing thing to learn? Is to be loving to me first. What if that's the best gift I can give to those around me? Tell you what, this is such a loaded topic. It's such a loaded topic. And Pat, I thank you so much for what you posted, because that's it in a nutshell. It's like, oh, I feel guilty. I feel bad. I feel ashamed. I feel wrong. I feel stupid. I feel like I'm just wrong. Instead of, it's really rewiring ourselves to see it differently and go, no, it's just a no for me. I'm getting better, like, without going into the details, because I want to be protective of the person. I had someone come to me that wanted to deal with something in a way that I was like, no. Because for me, it was going to have a really negative impact on me. And it's a rabbit hole I've gone down before with this same person, and did not practice self-care whatsoever, and ended up paying a huge price for that. So I was very direct. And I didn't feel guilty at all. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't agree with handling that way at all. Because I'm going to pay a huge price that way, and I'm done doing that to myself. And that felt so good, and it felt so right. And I know it's right to this day. And it was me unhooking from codependency with someone. And that was great. And then, like, the little things, like, I'd be like, oh, will you help me with this or something? And I'm like, you know, and the guilt, and I have to pay attention to that. It's just like I said, like simple little things, like if my husband calls my name, and I used to be like, I'm dropping everything, and what do you need? I'm in the other room. And now it's like, no, let him come to you. Let him come to you. Let him come in and ask you. And he does a lot of things for me too. It's not about that. It's about, we do things for each other, but it's me in those moments catching that less functional part of myself and trying to edit that to a new way of being. So Pat, thank you here again for your post. That was so helpful, and see y'all back here tomorrow. Bye for now.